All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to everyone for the SeedPro Elite Research Planter demo. We're really looking forward to showcasing this new technology for plot planting. It's the next generation of our electric drive planters for seed research. Today, we're going to be covering just some welcome topics, introductions for who's here from ALMACO today, as well as just some general housekeeping. We'll do an overview presentation just to level set everybody on what the product is. We'll have a demo of the SeedPro Elite Planter, and then we'll have open Q&A as well. Starting with some introductions, here's who's in the room today here at ALMACO. We've got Todd Vincent from sales. We have two engineers, Cody Sabatka and Cody Ramsey. Rob Paul, who is the product manager here at ALMACO, and I'm Lisa Dirksen. I'm the marketing manager here. You've probably seen a few emails from me up to this point. Just to make sure, I know that we're all pretty familiar with the Zoom platform, but for the Q&A function, it'll be important for you to identify the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. That's how we will be participating with the Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So everyone from a participant area is muted. We'll ask questions via text through the Q&A feature at the bottom of the screen here. We'll be holding questions until the end, so we'll answer them all together, but feel free to ask them anytime during this presentation if they come to you. After the event, just to let you know what you can expect, within about 48 hours, you'll receive a webinar recording of everything that we've covered today, SeedPro Elite webpage and brochure, and then some additional information or contact information for additional information or quotes, things like that. So just making sure you have your contact for your region. And with that, we'll jump right into the meat of the presentation. We're going to transition into some planting overview, and Todd Vincent's going to take us through the next few slides.
Thanks, Lisa. Again, my name's Todd Vincent in sales, and so we're going to do an overview. Pretty excited about the new generation of electric planters coming out with the precision with our SeedPro Elite. Folks that have had our SeedPro 360, this is the next generation of upgrade you can have available to you. So we'll do kind of a short overview on this slide. So the Elite itself is an individual row control planter, precise seed placement delivered, ultimate row by row control over the research plot data. The SeedPro Elite can be purchased both as a new planter, complete, like you see in the picture over here, 4s and 8 rows is what we're producing currently right now. And then also, if you've got an existing SeedPro 360 within your fleet or within your company, it's nice. We can just take and upgrade your existing planter and get the latest new technology. The biggest thing we're looking at here is seed placement, precise of the placement in the Elite planter. So we've got a patent pending on our seed sense and motor control technology that places seed precisely on the target, generating a consistent planted length and an immaculate row-to-row alley alignment. This has definitely been increased from our SeedPro 360 planters. These are geo-reference maps, enable look-ahead controls to place seeds on target, compensate for errors in ground speed versus the target. We also it's a highly responsive electric drive motor control that allows a very crisp start of each pass and a seamless transition from a low rate seeding to a high rate seeding in successive ranges. We also did some meter enhancements and improved seed metering and consistency of the seed release out of our existing SeedPro meters. So let's take a look at the control system and what's kind of changed, what's different about the SeedPro Elite. So first, starting at the top, so this is an Android tablet. We're using a Galaxy series Android tablet. It is basically Bluetoothing to the interface module that's mounted in the tractor. What's nice about the tablet itself being the Bluetooth is in the past, we'd have to have cables to go out, run the planter. You can walk around the planter itself with the tablet in your hand and be able to set up your settings, be able to do sims, be able to do diagnostics, just walking around the planter in the shop itself. So it really helps with the setup diagnostic troubleshooting of the Elite planter. From the interface module, so what we're doing from there is we basically have an RF radio frequencies that are going to all of the motors. So if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4 row, if you have 5, 6, 7, 8 row, and also to an IO module that is basically connected to our accessories. So if you've got splitters, you can see it's splitter 1, 2. We've got a horn feature, an alley marker feature, lights feature, a vac sensor feature, our air sensors feature, our compressor, our auxiliary circuit, and our lift switch. So within the motors themselves with electric drive, we've got a plate sensor on each of the motors and each of the row units themselves. We've got a seed tube monitoring system, and then our RSC, which is our rotating seed chamber. Up in the right-hand corner, we're using the tractor battery, and then we also have auxiliary battery on the planter. And then we're also going off of a power distribution box that we're adding to the planter itself for all those additional accessories. This allows us to add some aftermarket accessories on the planters, such as your liquid fertilizer, new spray systems, fungicides, insecticides, and other precision products that we can add to the planter itself. One other thing that we've added is a remote for the planter itself. There is also a remote option for a monitor that can be put on the planter that you can actually, the operators can see what's going on with the tractor itself. So within the seed meter and the valve assembly, let's look at what's different on that. So most of us that have a SeedPro 360, we've got a manifold system that's on the front of the toolbar itself. We're updating the air manifold to enable an independent splitter and meter rotating seed chamber control. So within the circle, those stackable air valves are what we're changing out. On the meter itself, the aluminum billet that we machined, we're actually integrating a seed sensor for the motor controls, and it's placed right in front of the singulator in that area there where your dihaploid block would mount also. Then below, we're also updating the housing. We're machining the housing with a new airflow screen that helps with our seed release in our seed release zone. Then on the actual complete assembly itself, we've got the electric motor that's on it per row that we're changing out instead of the drive chain that would normally be on there. So we have independent controls for each of the motors themselves. And we're also adding the Wave Vision seed tube below. And then the mounts are adapted for the electric drives. So to upgrade your SeedPro Elite, if you've got a SeedPro that you want to retrofit as a kit, you have existing, and of course we can build a brand new planter too, but what would be kept and what's eliminated and what's added, just as a reference, guys. So if you had this 4-row planter sitting to your right, you're going to keep your toolbar, your row units, all your platform seats, your packet holders, your headsets, your evac, all your vac fans, your compressor, your hydraulic valve blocks, your alley markers. If you have a power plant system with your cartridge, instead of using packets, you would be able to keep that also. And then when the seed meters, the modifications that are listed here that says some modifications required, that's basically what we're doing to the machining part. So we're eliminating with the Elite series is we're eliminating a lot of the SeedPro control system, which is going to be the large white box, your Athena computer or the upgraded computer that may have in there, the SeedPro display, the SeedPro, a lot of the harnessing for it, the 360 motor drives, which is that hydraulic motor drive, the housing, the shafts, the bearing sprockets, mounting and chains for that whole drive that you're running all 4 rows with at once. Then what we're at, once we eliminate those or take those pieces of equipment off, we're adding on our Android tablet, be in the tractor, our installation kit, our interface module in the tractor. We're adding the IO module on front of the toolbar, in front of the platform to run the motors. We're running the motors, the harness. We're upgrading our meters with the upgrade kit. We've got the air valve kit upgrade. And then if you want the optional remote monitor, we can add that back on the planter that's shown on this particular planter. And of course, we have mapping software for the Elite series. The compatibility of this planter is we want to make this a multi-crop planter. It has been since we've had it out. It's very versatile in its planting capabilities. We're running multi-crop right now. We've tested this unit in corn, soybeans, cotton, sorghum, sunflowers, and we're working on more crops as we speak. We've had it within about a 5 to 6 regional area within the United States this year. It's easy integration on the GPS system. We're tying or linking in with the auto steer systems of the John Deere series, the Trimble, and the Ag Leader. We have the John Deere ME2s and the newer units, the ME5s, and the Kinsey 3000 Evolution series row units themselves. We are running the Wave Vision seed tubes, which helps eliminate a lot of the particle and dust false sensing that we've had with our older seed tubes. We also have other plot planting technologies, including our power plant, which is our cartridge feeding planter. We can add indexers, we can have splitters, alley markers, and of course, any sort of dry or liquid application systems that you may have. Again, it's available in both a new planter and as an upgrade kit.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Todd. Really appreciate that. Next, we'll transition into planting precision, and that'll be covered by Rob Paul.
Thanks, Lisa. My name is Rob Paul. I'm the product manager here at ALMACO. As we started to look at this planter project, we knew we had to drive continued improvement in performance of the planter. One of the first places we thought made sense to compare to is our existing SeedPro 360. So we wanted to drive beyond what we were. So back in 2023, we planted some plots out here at our farm in Nevada, and we planted was some 20-foot corn plots with 30-inch alleys, and we planted different populations from 30 to 45,000 seeds per acre. And we actually measured after emergence how the two planters compared. And you can see by the chart on the left here, we have a target planted length of 210 inches. It was 240 inches from trip to trip, and we had a 30-inch alley. You can see by looking at the data there, we were much closer to target with the SeedPro Elite. Our engineering staff will be talking to you as we go forward to help kind of explain how we're able to drive this better performance. But as you look at the bottom line there, you look at the standard deviation, and you can see that the SeedPro Elite has half the seed placement error in reference to these plot metrics as what the SeedPro 360 did. That's what we're trying to drive for, is to give you more uniform and consistent plots so that you're measuring your data, you're getting better data. In reference to that, you can look at the picture to the right. This was in reference to kind of the alleys and the plot lengths. But the pictures on the right, you can see these electric drive meters that we have are much more reactive than what our hydraulic driven meter was on the SeedPro 360. This is showing the front edge of your field, kind of the beginning of your range one. You can see that the SeedPro Elite has a really consistent front edge to that. Where the lower picture, the SeedPro 360, anybody that's run a SeedPro 360, you know, we can have that per se castle look from pass to pass because the hydraulic motor didn't get up to speed quite quick enough on that when you first approach the field. We value your data. We know data is what you're after, and we're trying to provide you a planner to get you the best data possible. The better plots mean better data for you. We have improved row to row and pass to pass alignment, which provides border plants equal light and soil nutrient opportunities. By border plants, we're referring to not only the plants to the sides of your plot, but also across the alley. By maintaining these uniform plot dimensions, everything is getting treated equally from plot to plot. More consistent planted lengths and on-target seed counts reduce variability of the average seed spacing as well. Our uniform alleys improve ease of harvest, which reduces risk of plot carryover. Anybody that's planted plots in the past, when you come to harvest, if your alleys aren't quite right, especially if you're running a split twin plot combine and it doesn't match up to your planter passes, it's a struggle to hit those alleys spot on each time, especially when you're running a narrow alley. With the SeedPro Elite and those consistent plot metrics, our alleys are consistent from pass to pass so that you're getting better harvest data as well. These planted plots on target streamlines downstream processes and simplifies data synchronization with analysis tools. That, you know, if you're going to come fly a drone or take other data points, just it starts with the planter. We want to put the seed in the soil in the proper place where we were targeting so that everything else downstream works better for you. Yes, and we tried to build you a planner to test your genetics by providing unmatched data quality. We want you to be testing your genetic variability in your breeding programs, not seeing variable plots. This leads into some features we have with the SeedPro Elite is we have flexible mapping. This is plot planning your way. It provides planning flexibility without stopping to adjust. You pre-plan your mapping so that everything happens on the go. One of the features we have is within the same pass, you can plant variable seeding rates by range. This map to the right is showing we have 4 different populations shown by the color scheme at the top. And where we've got highlighted there, you can see we're changing range by range. We have the ability to change the population. And we plan that on the map ahead of time. You can also do variable length by range. This has the ability, so as you're going along, you could be planting, for example, 20-foot plots and then switch to a 40-foot plot and then go back to 20-foot plots. Those were both available on the SeedPro 360, but now in addition on the SeedPro Elite, within the same range, you can simultaneously plant variable seeding rates by row. As you're seeing on that pass, we're planting different populations on each row as we're going through. And then we also have the ability to plant variable length by row. One side of the planter in this, what we have highlighted here is the left side of the planter, if we were going from front to back, is doing 20-footers, and then all of a sudden it does a 40-footer there at the bottom left of that box, while the right side of the planter is planting 20-footers. So that we have the ability to split the planter at the same time. This map customization adds actual value to you. It reduces the costs and it increases your efficiencies. So precise seed placement with row by row variable population planning gives you the option to use as little as 1/4 as many acres as previously needed to conduct your pop studies. What we're referring to is on your SeedPro 360s, you had to plant the same population across the full width of the planter. Now, depending on what you're needing to do for a study, you could do individual populations, so you could get as many as 4 times as many plots on that same range if you decide to do 1-row plots, or if you had an 8-row planter and you want to do 2-row plots, you could use it as little as 1/4 of an acre. Simultaneously planting with different plot lengths also offers opportunity for acre reductions, reducing costs and decreased planting time. You might be able to avoid planting more fill depending on your plot setup. It gives you much more ability to map uniquely, so you don't have to fill in areas like you did in the past, because the planter has such versatility.
Thank you so much, Rob. That was great. Next, we'll transition into taking a little bit of a high-level look at the new intuitive user interface, and that'll be covered by Cody Ramsey today.
Yep. Thanks, Lisa. I'm Cody Ramsey. I'm with the Electrical Controls Group here at ALMACO. So yeah, there's a new intuitive user interface with the SeedPro Elite. We have an interactive run screen that's using that Galaxy S9 tablet. It's an intuitive, modernized run screen that offers real-time painting and geospatial telemetry. So the system knows where in the world our plots are located, and using the GPS from the tractor, it knows exactly where the planter's at, and it's planting the right target population at the right time and the right place. There's real-time seed stats on the table coming through. And then there's also intuitive manual controls, which make it easy to diagnose a certain area of the planter or easy to use error recovery tools. There's multiple data review options. Once planting is complete, we can review the painting from the job, key statistics there. We can export the data via a CSV or JSON file format, and the files are easily transferred. It's a tablet with access to the internet, so we do email, Dropbox. You can still tether it through a USB. There's a lot of different options to get the files from the tablet to where you need them to be. There's comprehensive mapping tools. So as Rob mentioned, we have a lot of flexibility with the Elite Planter and how it can perform. And so some of that comes into how do we map it. There's two main options. We can import the field from a third-party app. That's going to allow us to generate some of those variable rates and variable plot lengths. It also allows us to kind of layer in some soil maps, some elevation data, useful information to build that plot. We also have the ability to use what we call drop and go. That's a field building tool on the tablet. And that allows us to build plots that are a uniform rate and length directly on the tablet. There's multiple field placement options. So we don't really need to drive our A/B line anymore like we would on a SeedPro 360. We need to know a origin point, a latitude, longitude for an origin point, and we need to know a heading. A couple options there is if we know that lat long, we can just type that in. We can just tap on the map. We can capture the current location of the tractor and then shift that. So we would park the tractor exactly where we'd want that first seed to start. We can reference an origin point from an existing field to kind of layer in adjacent files that way. We also have the ability to shift left and right and fore and aft to kind of place the fields exactly where we want them. We also have simple infield alley adjustments. What we would do is we would just plant one round, kind of take that measurement of what the difference is, pass to pass. We would go into our latency calculator and select the image that matches the situation. So where the alley's early, where the alley's late. We would type in that total distance, and the system's going to auto calculate the timings and settings, everything it needs to do. You just hit apply. We're going to go out, do another round, and confirm that in the dirt. It's very easy. Also have dependable performance. Some of the new control methods significantly reduce or eliminate the need to adjust alignment settings after initial calibration. So that means we have consistent settings from field to field, different soil conditions, things like that. It's dependable performance.
Perfect. Thank you, Cody. Speaking of dependable performance, we'll transition into some of the testing that has gone into this product and how this has been a proven technology for us to this point. And so we'll transition into Cody Sabatka for that.
Thanks, Lisa. I'm Cody Sabatka from engineering and wanted to share a few testing highlights for you all. We have extensively tested SeedPro Elite over multiple years of development, a variety of crop conditions. The couple of photos you see off to your right are from our test farm here in Nevada, where we are testing year-round. We tested 50 of 52 weeks last year. We were planting in some form or fashion, and that goes back further than that. We're constantly utilizing this site as a proving grounds for unique testing of crop types, different plot configurations, different imported maps. We actually host customer demonstrations, provide service training at this site as well. Throughout our testing, we have tested SeedPro Elite on numerous unique tractor makes and models, unique GPS systems, including John Deere, Starfire, 3000, 6000, 7000. We have been on Ag Leader, GPS 7500, and dual track, along with different variants of Trimble planting systems as well, to ensure our system works well with all of those leading GPS systems that are available. As mentioned, we have been testing with corn, soybeans, cotton, sorghum and planted some sunflowers this past season as well on our test farm. In addition to the testing that we do at our site year-round, we have launched SeedPro Elite this past spring and have had the pleasure of partnering with some strategic clients to put the equipment to the real test. We have planted with brand new planters and upgraded planters both this past spring across the entire Corn Belt, southern US up to the Midwest, out to eastern Illinois and in between. We've been in very small fields and remote locations with trees, power lines, near solar fields, underground lines, numerous unique locations that way. We have also been on large campus farms that have multiple fields nested together, and you want those subfields to align well and look nice when the crop comes up. We've imported fields, and we have built numerous fields on the tablet in the field the day of planting both. We have planted a wide range of plot configurations through all the different clients that we partnered with, 6-foot planted length, all the way up to 42-foot long strip trials. 30-inch alleys, very conventional, but we also ran some longer alleys. Some of those plot configurations required very slow planting, 0.7 miles per hour, and we ran up to 2.5 mile per hour in some of those longer plots. We also configured the planters a number of different ways: 1-row plots, 2-row plots, 4-row plots. We even had one of our 4-row planters configured as a 2-row planter planting on top of seed beds this last spring. And each of our clients that were running SeedPro Elite this spring utilized our bulk planting feature set to do some bulk planting trials and some fill work around the research plots. We shared a few testimonials and quotes from some of our clients that we spoke with after this past season, so I'm just going to share those with you now. One client said the SeedPro Elite planter has created the best alleys they have ever seen. So that was a nice compliment to the new controls and capabilities of the planter that we now have. Another client said we had 0 carryover into our alleys this year in those subsequent plots. So we know that data integrity, plot to plot purity is important to you, and we're happy to maintain that with SeedPro Elite. Another client said our alley edges were extremely crisp. Another testament to that SeedPro Elite controls and that alley alignment that we just see field to field, day to day, week to week as we return to locations with new maps. SeedPro Elite was a very useful and easy planter to use. So that's a bit of a testament to that user interface that Cody highlighted, and we're going to show you a little bit more about with that modernized run screen, additional graphical tools, and just an overall easier, more intuitive planter to learn to use.
Perfect. Thank you, Cody. That's a great transition into the demonstration portion of this webinar here. So I'm just going to transition into the next part of our webinar.
Hello, I'm Cody Ramsey. I'm an electronic controls engineer here at ALMACO. Today we'll go through a virtual demo for the SeedPro Elite Research Planter. This is the main screen on the user interface, where you'll find 5 main function areas of the planter. Under Setup Planter is where we can go in and change configuration settings such as our number of rows on the planter, number of cells on the plate, our configuration of the splitter, and if we have to make any alley alignment changes is where we would do that. Under Setup Field, we can import from an external file, create a field on the tablet, or we have options to shift the field to get us into the field faster. Under Diagnostics, it makes it easy to quickly check the health of various components on your planter. Review Job is a great tool to see where you have planted and how well it performed, as well as export out for use after planting is complete. To begin a new job, we'll select New Plot Job. Here we'll give our job a unique name. Select a pre-built field from the drop-down menu. Today's demo is focused on the run screen and operational functionality of the planter, but for more information on field creation, please connect with us after the demo. We'll then select our configuration, which is going to tell the planter for this job how many rows the planter is, how many cells are on our plate, and our newly created job, and select Go Plant Job. The system will then connect to Bluetooth, begin receiving GPS data from our AutoSteer system, and connect to the modules on the planter. Once connected, the run screen will then be shown. The run screen is separated by 2 main sections, a map view and a table view. The map view provides real-time positioning information, painting of planted areas, and target population shading. The table shows planter performance in active range and column numbering. The buttons on the right allow the users to access different views, manually control individual sections of the planter, and prime the planter to start each pass. To begin planting in the first pass, we need to press and hold the prime button. This will stage the planter and allow the first packet of seed to make it down to the seed meter and ready to be planted. Once complete, we will engage the auto steer system and begin driving at our target ground speed. Using the GPS, the planter will begin planting at precisely the right spot. As the seeds are being planted, the table is actively showing counts, skips, and doubles. The map view shows each row painting where seeds have been placed. In this first pass, all the ranges are 20 feet, and the target population is all the same at 36 seeds per trip. In the count row, the right side number indicates the target seed count for that plot per row, and the left number is the current seed count. In this demonstration, we're planting corn, but the planter is multi-crop capable and can plant soybeans, cotton, and more. The next two rows show the current range, skips, and doubles, and this number resets at the start of each range. The next row shows counts from the previous ranges. Active range indicates where the planter is currently seeding. Column number depends on the number of rows per plot. In this example, we have single row plots, so each row is a separate column. The RPM shows the current plate speed for each row, and the number in parentheses is the target speed for that current population. Packet range is for the person on the planter and helps them stay in sync with their packets. We are also showing a 4-row planter, but 8-row planters will be available for this upcoming planting season. To start the next pass, we will start with another prime cycle. This pass will demonstrate the planter's capability to plant a different population row to row. If you look at the count section on the table, you can see the different seed targets for each row. Now that we are planting, you can see all 4 motors are going a different speed in order to achieve the target population. Currently, the painting on the map is all green, indicating where seed has already been planted. There are options to customize the map to use different colors to show varying populations. In this example, we did different shades of blue. Here we can see synced video of the tablet and stationary row units in simulation. Because each row is planting a different population, they must function independently in order to maintain crisp alleys and uniform plot dimensions. Pass 3 demonstrates multi-population per row as well as variable plot lengths. The first 2 ranges have a common seed target on all 4 rows. In range 3, rows 1 and 2 will plant a 40-foot plot, while rows 3 and 4 continue to plant the 20-foot plots. The planter then seamlessly continues to plant the 20-foot plots across all 4 rows and begins planting a different population on all 4 rows. The population target is changing range to range, from low to high and high to low. And finishing in the last 2 ranges with a common target across all 4 rows. In this example, we'll go through what may happen if someone were to miss a packet in the field. SeedPro Elite has built-in tools to help make error recovery easier compared to our previous SeedPro 360 model. Imagine we were halfway through the pass and the operator missed a packet intended for the left splitter. In this example, we will stop pouring and plant until we run out of seed. We will then pick up and back up behind the affected plot. We will then need to move our active ranges and reprime the planter. This is the manual controls page where we can control individual functions on each row. We can control things such as the rotating seed chamber and run each motor individually. In this error recovery example, we will move rows 1 and 2 back 1 range. You will notice only the unplanted rows becoming active, followed by all 4 rows resyncing and planting the remainder of the pass successfully. To make an adjustment for alley alignment, we will edit our configuration. Using the latency calculator, we can easily align alleys in a few quick steps. There are 2 adjustments that can be made inside of the calculator. Alley alignment is used for the pass-to-pass alignment, and first plot length adjustment is used to dial in the first range of each pass so that the meters start up at the correct time and minimize the castle effect that occurs with our hydraulic system on the SeedPro 360. To align the alleys, we would make 1 round in the field and measure the total offset distance between passes. We will then type in what ground speed was used, the total measured offset, and select the condition that matches whether the alleys are too early or too late. Select Apply and Save. We can then resume the job and verify alley alignment with another round in the field. Field Shift is a great tool that easily allows changes to be made to a pre-built field. Sometimes plans can change once we arrive to the field, and the SeedPro Elite platform is capable of making quick changes to get to planting faster. In this example, the pre-built field is not in the correct location. If offset measurements are known, they can be typed in. In this case, the tractor and planter are aligned with the auto steer driveline and parked exactly where the first seed should start. Select Snap to Current Location to access the current GPS location. Then, select Shift by Config to populate the number of rows, row spacing, and GPS offsets. Select Continue to move the origin point. We can preview the new shift position and save. The original field file remains unchanged. The shifted field generated a new field entry and is designated with _shift in the name. This field is now ready to be assigned to a job and planted. The SeedPro Elite Research Planter delivers the most precise seed placement and targeted plot dimensions in the industry. Seed is automatically sensed on the seed plate, and the motor speed is adjusted to optimize seed placement. Synchronization between rows and automated timing generates consistent plot starts every time. Consistent alleys are more than just pride of ownership and aesthetics. Border plants in each plot experience equal sunlight exposure and soil nutrient opportunities. Consistent plots also reduce carryover because it is easier to harvest each plot without taking plants from another. Combined with electrical individual row controls and flexible mapping, Elite provides unmatched data quality and control. SeedPro Elite provides planting flexibility without stopping to adjust any settings. Within the same pass, Elite can plant variable seeding rates by range and variable plot lengths by range. Within the same range, Elite can plant variable seeding rates by row and variable plot lengths by row. Map customization delivers efficient plot planting that meets the unique, specialized needs of seed research. Elite also includes a new intuitive user interface for easy operations and simple planter controls. SeedPro Elite integrates with your tractors and guidance systems for more operational flexibility. Available as a new planter or as an upgrade kit to an ALMACO SeedPro 360 planter. Experience the next level of planting precision with the ALMACO SeedPro Elite Research Planter.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So that concludes the presentation and demo portion of it. We have a short hour here, but we'd like to get into the Q&A portion of the event as well. Please feel free to submit any questions you might have, anything that's kind of lingering from the conversation. Okay, and we've got one here. This question is, when is SeedPro Elite going to be available for purchase? Can you grab that
So
one?
yeah, from sales side, so we're selling the SeedPro Elite since last year. We currently have either kits or new planters available that we can quote at any time, and available for the fourth quarter of 2024 and into 2025.
Perfect.
So just give us a shout, email us at sales or one of at sales.com at ALMACO, and we can get you a quotation.
Perfect. All right, another question here. Can you talk a little bit more about the bulk planting options that you have on SeedPro Elite? Let's take that.
Yeah, I'll take that, Lisa. So casually mentioned that, but we do have a pretty nice bulk planting feature set integrated into this planter that is simplified if you need to do some fill work. The high points of how it works are it detects if the planter is down on the ground and if it's moving, and if so, it's going to plant. So that allows you to plant without a map. You can plant in any direction. There is ground speed compensation integrated into that, so the seed rate of the motors will adjust on the fly as you throttle the tractor speed up and down. And it even has turn compensation built in there as well. So if you do plant around a terrace or do some fill work like that, each of the rows across the planter will be adjusting speed as needed to hit that rate. A couple other nice things that are in there. You can preset your planting rate, and you can also adjust it on the fly. So if you want to change the planting rate as you're going, or if you're using it to do some long strip trials, you can change it from pass to pass. And then the last thing I'll mention, just to keep it brief, is you can disable certain rows. So you can turn the 4-row planter into a 3-row, 2-row, 1-row, or any combination thereof, all in that bulk planting feature set. So I know there's a lot of bulk planting needs out there and a lot of versatile features there to suit the various needs.
Perfect. All right, looks like we have another question. What are some of the minimum tractor specs needed, highlighting hydraulic capacity, system lift capacity, electrical, etc.?
I can go through the 4 rows. I can take this as Todd. So for the 4-row current SeedPro 360s and the Elites themselves, the new Elites, we would like to see 23 gallon per minute flow for a direct plumb on the back system itself. We're adding a little bit of electrical as far as about 1 to 1.5 amp per row for the electrical requirements. So we'd like to see at least 150 amp alternator up to 200 amp alternator on the 4-row planters and the 8-row planters for the electrical side. Of course, we're deleting part of the hydraulics. So the gallons per minute, we still need to be at that 23 gallon per minute, but that allows us to, the next phase is actually the lift capacity. And we like to see at least a 5,000 pound capacity on the lift for the 4-row 3-points. Most of the folks are running a 6 to up to a 7,000 deer. As far as horsepower range, we like to see about 80 to 90 horse on the 4 rows, and then a little bit bigger for the 8 rows, depending on if it's the drawn Kinsey toolbar. Anything else anyone would like to add? Engineering? Okay. Hope that answers your question.
Mhm. Is there a downforce option to this planter is another question we have.
So we can pretty much put on any of the aftermarket downforce precision equipment. So what's out in the marketplace today, the Elite is capable of adding those accessories or aftermarket equipment to the planter. We've got our power distribution box if we have to have any other electrical requirements or anything that's special. Maybe it's an air requirement, anything that's that nature. The Elite has the capability of doing that.
Perfect. And what's the lead time for a new unit for, let's maybe say both upgrade and for a new planter?
So an upgrade today is 90 days ARO after receipt of order, and a new planter is 120 days ARO.
Perfect. And is this available on a Flex research planter?
And so depending on what we mean by a Flex, if you have an ALMACO SeedPro 360 Flex unit currently right now, this SeedPro option for the Elite would be certainly an option. If you have a different Flex planter, we just have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, depending on the frame type.
Perfect. All right, another question coming in. Will there be any compatibility with the mobile demand tablets?
Yeah, I can take that. Currently, there's no compatibility with those. It's 2 different operating systems. The Elite platform is based off an Android operating system and utilizing the Samsung tablets just for their processing power. There's a bit of an IP rating behind the newer tablets, and so sticking with the Android platform for now.
Perfect. See another question coming in. What splitters / funnel configurations are available on SeedPro Elite?
So I can take that. All your current your air splitters that we're currently using on the 360, or even on our electrical comb planters, we can convert them to air. But your 2-way, your 3-way splitters themselves, and then your individual row funnels for, basing yield trials to nursery, single row to split rows. We can pretty much do any of our current configurations.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, here comes another question. I know that we mentioned that Power Plant was compatible with SeedPro Elite. Can you talk a little bit more about that compatibility and when that'll be available for folks as well?
Okay. So the Power Plant system, for folks that don't understand what the Power Plant is, or maybe not familiar with it, is ALMACO's designed a system that is basically a riderless system that is on our planters, that we use a cartridge instead of a seed packet, and we have a carousel filling package at the lab that actually filling these into a magazine. The magazine is verified in planting order and then taken to the field. Those magazines are attached to a dispenser that within the planting practice in these research plots, we make a 4-row or an 8-row power plant, it's a complete independent system from the SeedPro 360. So it can be you can add the Elite option to an existing SeedPro 360 or a new planter, and then you can add the power plant as an additional accessory. So those interactions and that compatibility is there. Our plan is to have that all ready to go for the spring of 2025, that interaction or capability with the power plant system. So if you currently have a power plant on a 4-row or 8-row and you want to upgrade to the Elite, we'll have that ready for 2025
Perfect.
of spring.
Awesome. Here's another question. Have there been tests with a satellite GPS like John Deere Starfire 3?
Yeah, I can take that, Lisa. We have tested with a variety of GPS systems. So we have tested with the base station here on our farm and with Starfire 3, in addition to Ag Leader's TerraStar X, which would be a similar RTK from the sky type corrected signal. And the Trimble systems, we had a no base station RTK corrected source there as well. So that would absolutely be stuff that we've tested on and had clients running on this spring throughout the Corn Belt.
Perfect. Thank you, Cody. All right. Any more questions? Let's see. I have one. Oh, here we go. Is the Elite planter available in both conventional and strip till? Does anyone want to cover that?
So I think the question is just field conditions in regards to a no-till field condition or a conventional field condition, if that's the question. We can make the toolbar, frame structure, max emerge units with all of the aftermarket accessories from a conventional field application up to the maximum no-till application. So it's very flexible.
I'll just add to that and say, as far as the strip till is concerned, the flexible mapping options and field shift options make it really easy for you to synchronize the planter map with the auto steer guidance lines that you may have. So you can put the tractor right on top of those strips that you want to plant into, and then pull your map right in and do that synchronization to keep everything lined up as you cross the field. So put a lot of intentionality to make that very easy for y'all to set up your planters when you get to those unique fields.
Great. Perfect. All right, we have time for maybe one or two questions here before we wrap up on the hour. Final call for questions here, but while we're doing that, I guess I'd pose a question to Todd just to make sure that we say this out loud as well. What if people are interested in further demos, either virtual or in person? What would you say to someone who's interested in that?
Well, I'd say get in touch with us. Of course, we've got our farm that's here. We've had multiple people already in this year that have requested to come out here to actually watch at the farm. That's the easiest location since we do have a farm here, which is nice. We have everyone here. We've got our own demo 4-row capable of showing that, and we'd be more than happy to have you out to our facility. If we need to come to your facility, please get a hold of us. We have some options for that also. So I think we're very flexible either way.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. Are there plates available for crops not listed? We talk about the crops that we have available today and kind of the testing that we're doing for other crops.
Yeah, so there are a lot of plate options out there. We've had SeedPro 360 in the field for years, planting a number of unique crops in different environments. And so we have full support for those plates that you've ran in the past. The supported crops that we've listed are ones that we have had the time to go through the validation verification steps that we like to take to say that crop type is supported. But we did have some customers experimenting with some non-supported crop types this past spring, including sweet corn, I think was one that we ran. So if you have a unique crop type get a hold of sales. We'll talk it through and see how much that differs from crops we've already declared support for.
And I may add a little bit to that, Cody's statement there. One thing that's really nice and unique about the SeedPro, the 360 and the Elite itself is we are using the case plate, the factory plate. We bring blanks in, we've got certain hole patterns, millimeter size, certain numbers. We're doing the machining here. So we can run it on our test stand with a certain crop. I've had a lot of folks just send me seed. We'll run it on our test stand here, help develop that plate for that certain application, and then be able just to send those plates out for your stock 360 that you currently have or up into the Elite. So
That's a great
it's a nice feature.
Yeah, really nice feature. All right, any final questions? 30 seconds here for folks. That doesn't look like it. Well, that's great. These are all excellent questions. Really appreciate everyone coming out today, both to take a look at the new SeedPro Elite Research Planter that we have for this new next generation of precision planting, and for the conversation here in the Q&A. We really appreciate it. Just to echo what Todd said, we would love to further this conversation with you long term as well. I'll be sending out contact information, a recording of this webinar. I know that there were some folks that weren't able to attend today that just wanted the recording. We'll get those folks a recording as well, and links to additional information for Elite too. So look forward to that. Check your emails over the next couple of days. And again, just really appreciate the time today. And thank you to the panel of ALMACO folks here too. Really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day, everyone.